Hello everyone, welcome back to another stream on the channel. We're back again tonight with another stream. It's been a very eventful day and some breaking news in the last couple of minutes, which can have some serious implications on Leicester City and the replacement of Brendan Rodgers. As you can see in the thumbnail, I've put Benitez, I've put Pochettino in there. Don't take them too seriously. I've just chosen two random ones who there is some talk about. But literally, I think it was like 20 minutes ago, Chelsea have sacked Graham Potter. Now, that's absolutely massive because I'll get onto it later, but Leicester are long admirers of Graham Potter. They've been interested in the former Brighton and now the former Chelsea manager. And with the timing, this could be the perfect opportunity to sign Graham Potter because right now Leicester have no key replacement lines up. Kuntop is flying over to the UK tomorrow, I do believe, in the search for a new manager. The news tonight could really suggest that Graham Potter is a big option. But yeah, as we know, Rodgers has been sacked. I did a stream earlier on today, so I won't go over it too much. But yeah, here is the official statement from Leicester City, which was released at about 2:15. So yeah, as it says, Leicester City Football Club has reached a mutual agreement with Brendan Rodgers that will see him leave the club after 4 years as our men's first team manager. Brendan Rodgers departed to King Power Stadium as one of the most successful managers in the club's history, having guided us to a long-awaited first FA Cup triumph in 2021, the FA Community Shield in the same year, and two of the club's three highest Premier League finishes. I won't go through the rest of it because you guys have probably read it and everyone knows the situation really. But yeah, just before we get into tonight's stream, make sure to drop a like, subscribe as well to the channel. We've got so much things to talk about. I'll probably go on for about an hour or so tonight. So yeah, feel free to get your questions in and let me know in the chat. Who do you guys want to see replace Brendan Rodgers? We'll go through a few names, but from tonight's news, I think there should be a big focus on Graham Potter, as I've put it in the title as well. But yeah, so the key thing to remember though, Brendan Rodgers has left with a mutual agreement as well, which means Leicester do not have to pay the full 20 million or whatever it was in compensation. Obviously, there will be a small amount of fee given to Rodgers, but it will not be the full amount, which was the key thing really, because quite a lot of people were saying that can Leicester even afford to pay Rodgers off? Clearly, that has not been the full amount agreed. So fair play to Rodgers on that front. I will get, but yeah, obviously with Brendan, I won't talk about it too much because I already did a stream today. But obviously the time has came. I don't want to really. Obviously, he's done good for us. But we can't take away the achievements he's done for us. Top has left him in charge for far too long, and that's it really. It's gone too well. It's ended quite sour, where potentially it couldn't have, but that's it really. And no hard feelings to Rodgers, and looks like he may be into another job quite quickly because yeah, a lot of stuff is happening. But yeah, let me just quickly share the screen quickly for you boys. Let me try and get the right one up. Let me try and find it quickly. So yeah, as we know, Chelsea have sacked Potter. We'll get onto that in a minute. Let me just try and quickly get the bit. So yeah, this is the latest then on Leicester's search for a new manager. This was before the Kuntop news. I believe this is the right one. It's not the right one, but we'll go through this one anyway. Apologies, but yeah, I'll get into the chat in a few minutes' time. So yeah, this is what Top had to say about Rodgers. Obviously, just going through his achievements, how well he's done, but obviously the time has came to sack him, which fair enough is the right thing. Pretty standard stuff for a statement. But yeah, the key thing down here is what Top had to say. The task ahead of us in our final 10 games is clear. We now need to come together, fans, players, and staff, show the poised quality fight, and to secure the position as a Premier League club. So that's what Top had to say. He is in the process, just like I said, of flying over to England, meeting up with the board of directors, John Rudkin, Susan Whelan, etc., for the search for a new manager. But yeah, I think the key thing is to look at the latest news on a certain Graham Potter. Now, Owen Palmer-Atkin has had to say this. Obviously, he's on BBC Radio Leicester, so pretty reliable, we could say, for Leicester stuff. So yeah, Graham Potter, if it loads up, go on, there we go. Graham Potter sacked by Chelsea. Leicester City have been big admirers of both him and Thomas Frank. To me, that should be a no-brainer now. So there's one source for you guys. Obviously confirm that Leicester are very interested in a certain little Graham Potter. And let me just quickly get onto my Twitter so I can get the likes. There we go. Give me a second, boys and girls. Apologies. I'll get into the chat in a moment. But while I'm sorting this out, let me know thoughts on Potter. What are we saying? Would you guys take him? Would you not? This looks to be one of the potential, replacements really. It's came out of absolute nowhere. But yeah, here it is then. So Rob Tanner, who's, if you don't know, he's very reliable with Leicester news, etc. So yeah, Potter was always the man LCFC considered as Rodgers' successor if available. Now he is available, and backed up here by Tom, who's done quite a lot of stuff on Leicester today. Leicester have always been huge admirers of Graham Potter as well. And this is basically what the latest news on Kun Top. So Leicester chief Top Shrivan Avala flying to the UK. I butchered that name, obviously, this week as he begins the process of finding a replacement for Brendan Rodgers with Rafa Benitez, Jesse March, Ralph Hasenhüttl, and Adi Hutter. All I don't know who that is, but all contenders for the job. And a bit more on Rafa Benitez. We'll talk about Graham Potter in a minute. But Ian Stringer, I know Leicester City inquired after Rafa Benitez before appointing Claudio Ranieri, and Kuntop has been an admirer for a long time. Also understand Pochettino was interested in the Leicester job a year ago when there was talk of Rodgers leaving, but a lot has obviously happened since then. So yeah, let me get into the chat. Apologies, boys. I haven't gone into the chat tonight, so let's get in there. Leicester for life. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, Benitez, Chelsea just like Potter. Indeed, Potter to Leicester. Potter to Leicester once, is it? Wow. Oh yeah, it's also Benitez was the favourite earlier on. Sky Sports favourite. That is crazy. Potter's tricky blues. We love this. We love that. Potter's can replace Rodgers. I'd take that. Hello Hayden, mate. Hope you're doing all right. Up the tags. Potter's Blue Army. Rodgers to Spurs. And exactly. There's a lot. I even forgot about Tottenham. Yeah. I can't see Rodgers joining Chelsea. And now this is it. As soon, Leicester sacking Rodgers has potentially sparked, a kind of transfer merry-go-round, really. But for managers now, obviously the Tottenham job is open, the Leicester job is now open, and the Chelsea job is now open. Now, as we know, obviously Brendan Rodgers has been awful for us in this season, but he is a decent manager, and if he went to Chelsea or Tottenham, which I don't know if he would. But if he went there, I honestly think he would do all right for 1 to 2 seasons. As we know, as soon as he reaches that 3rd season, it's where things just fall apart. And that is exactly what's happened with Leicester. And, Tottenham and Chelsea look at that and believe that Rodgers could be there. And as we know, Chelsea do not like appointing long-term managers at all. It probably will be all right because Rodgers will do well and then he gets sacked in the 2nd year and adios, new manager comes in. But for me, it's just such a huge chance now for Leicester to go for Potter, really, because yes, he's gone to Chelsea and hasn't done too well, but he's been there for Chelsea. He signed a load of players, and it's hard to really get him going. And at Brighton, he did a fantastic job, and obviously De Zerbi's coming to Brighton and extended that and potentially done even better. But I would 100% take Graham Potter, and I was kind of gutted that he went to Chelsea in the first place. So. Talking of Brian, Lewis Cotton's in the chat. How are we doing, mate? I can't believe they actually sacked him, wanted Rodgers out months ago. About time, isn't it? It's about time. But I think now the focus just has to be on the replacement. We'll talk a bit about Rodgers, the whole sort of thing. But I just think this news about Potter could be absolutely massive. And, just like I said, Leicester have been long-term admirers of Graham Potter, as we can see from here. Let me just go quickly. Yeah, just a quick bit here from Jordan Blackwell. So yeah, Rodgers took the review session at Seagrave this morning before being informed of the sacking. Sadler and Mike Stahl, so he's the goalkeeper coach. Sadler is one of the other coaches. Will be the managers for the Aston Villa game. No decision on what happens after that. Could be a quick fix manager or could be a long-term appointment. So yeah, now with the news, I honestly fall into Graham Potter. Fully, not in that way. I'm fully invested into the process of Potter, but yeah. So I forgot to mention this. So other news: Graham Potter, Brendan Rodgers' assistant Chris Davis has also departed the club with I think it's Chris Driscoll. So this is Mike Stahl. If you don't know, the goalkeeper coach, he'll be in charge on the game against Aston Villa, unless a certain Potter comes to the King Power. But yeah. What about Bielsa? He's definitely an option. Yeah, there's a few options going around. Ralph Hasenhüttl, Jesse March in there as well, but I'm not really too fans of them two. Hello Sports, hope you guys stay up, big up. Stay off or I don't know if I'm being dumb, I don't know who that is. Am I lagging out? I don't think so. Maybe. But Yeah, I just don't know. I don't know about this Potter news because it just seems to be very random how it's come out on the exact same day as when Rodgers has been sacked. And I thought I saw something the other day saying that Potter was getting more time, but clearly not. Chelsea are being ruthless as always, really. But yeah, let me have a quick look at Twitter just to see if there's Roberto De Zerbi. Yeah, he ain't gonna come to us, is he? No chance. He's a very good manager, and that's what I mean. It's all good getting these big names like Benitez and stuff, but is it really? I feel like we need to go out there and try and get someone a bit more unknown. But I think this is the key tweet tonight. This is the key to the tweet. Sorry, tweet. Let me get it up. I think I've already showed this, but yeah. Rob Tanner, Potter was always the man LCFC considers as Rodgers' successor if available. Now he's available. That's absolutely massive, really, because if Leicester have been long-term admirers, they've been kind of planning to get him. I just think it's a no-brainer, really. You know what I mean? Obviously, it depends if Potter wants the Leicester job, wants to go straight back into management, because I think the Chelsea job would have taken quite a lot out of him mentally. So it's a case of if he wants to come straight back into management, straight into a relegation battle. But even if Leicester can, if we stay up and then get Potter in the summer or something like that, we'll have to see. But I just think that tweet right there is a absolutely massive, really, and that could be the difference, because obviously some names going around. Benitez, I put him in the thumbnail, but do I really want him? Not really. He went to Everton, stunk the gaff up there. Really, obviously, he was former Liverpool and stuff going along with that. But obviously, it's a big name from the past. He's obviously did well at Liverpool and stuff. But is he really cut out? Obviously, he was at Newcastle for a bit. Other names go around: Jesse March. No thanks. Hassan Hutel, I'd rate him a bit higher than March, obviously, but not really. You know what I mean? It's just not. And obviously some people are going to mention Pochettino, which very unrealistic, but there are some tweets saying that he was interested in the Leicester job a few years ago, well, even last year, which kind of infuriates me, to be fair, because I'm a massive fan of Pochettino. I would have loved him at Leicester. Graham Potter time, indeed. And if you're free, I can send you a link if you want to pop in. I don't think Potter will need a job for decades. Have you not? Yeah, and it's 100% that. And I think it's more about if the Chelsea job is one of the hardest jobs in world football. He's under intense pressure. Is he want to go and leave there and then jump straight back into a high pressurized job at Leicester to try and stay up? Now, obviously, I do better. I think Potter's a fantastic manager, but it's whether he can. If he did come in, it's whether he can get Leicester ticking. But I would 100% take him. But it's one of them, really. It's all about this manager bounce now. Yeah, 100%, and it's definitely true, because the Chelsea job it's just crazy, and if anyone goes, whoever takes the Chelsea job next is crazy, really. I'll be surprised. They'll probably just make it to the summer, because Potter, yes, he hasn't done fantastically well there, but the amount of players they've signed, the team is completely different to last year, pretty much. Fofana, Koulibaly, Cucurella, etc. Enzo Fernandez, João Felix, you know what I mean? Mudryk. So it's hard to get that team to gel quickly. And I think some people say, "Oh, Potter, he's done bad at Chelsea," but I still think there's a very good manager in there, and I think he'd be a perfect fit for Leicester. Really, he's an English manager. I think he'll work quite nicely with the English players. He could potentially, I'm going quite long distance here, but he could try and tie down contracts to Madison potentially at a push. You know what I mean? So it's one of them, really. Give him the job in the summer. Yeah, I think if Leicester stay up and no one gets Potter, I think that is it's a realistic one. But my only worry is I just don't think he'll come in right now. You know what I mean? Because ideally we need to be getting a manager by at least this time next week. Obviously we've got Mike Stowe and who's the other guy? The Chris Sadler, who are obviously going to take in charge of Villa, but we can't really have them in charge for 10 games, can we really? Unless, for me, I think the most realistic thing right now is Leicester get interim. I did see something about Shakespeare, but I don't know about that. And then we'll just have to see. Bruno is the interim now. He's ex-Brighton manager, yeah. Because he used to play for you, Bruno, captain. Yeah, I thought so. Was he left back or something? I think something like that. Fullback. Grandpa. Jeez. I feel bad for Rodgers. Had a lot of memories. I wish all the best for what he's done personally for me. Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's obviously ended It's ended sour, and if you sit back and think about it, he has done a good job for us. But I just think it's just gone on for far too long, and he's just been in charge for too long, really, and that's been the downfall. So, you reckon Evans will help out? Ish, but I'm never really keen on these ex players being managers like that. Or obviously, quite a few are, but you know what I mean, like straight away, like in a relegation battle. I think obviously it'll help out, but I don't think it's going to be a case of giving it to like a player or something. Some people on Twitter saying give it Vardy or something stupid. So I don't think that should be done. But yeah, let me just have a quick refresh on the Twitter. Leicester Twitter right now is pretty mental, to be fair. It's all kicking off. Let's not show that picture. So yeah, the odds for Potter, 1-1. Benitez 5-1. Nigel Pearson 12-1. It's crazy, absolutely crazy. Classic day of the Barclays. Yeah, I just saw some actually here. I won't put it on screen, it's a bit of effort to do it. But yeah, Shakespeare keeps Leicester up. Potter overhaul in the summer, and we go again. Don't want to speak too soon, but we are effing back. I like that one. It's good. I rate that. But yeah, I think something like that will be the best idea, really. 100%. I was going to say that. Yeah. I think that's a very loads of people do it, but Big Sam. To be fair, as long as we can get someone in just to keep us up, which I think pretty much most managers will do, because I said it earlier, this squad has got more than enough ability to stay up. So as long as we do that, we're fine, really, in my opinion. But just a case of the next process upon that in the summer, and if we can get someone like Graham Potter, do you know what I mean? Someone to really progress Leicester onto that next level. So I would not take Steven Gerrard, no chance. But yeah, I'll take Potter 100%, but definitely not Steven Gerrard, no chance. But I just Potter thing seems very weird to me, really weird. I don't know if it's me, but I definitely saw something on Twitter that he was going to get given another game at least to obviously try and turn things around a little bit. But it's crazy. Imagine if maybe Potter joins during this stream, it'd be crazy. But based on today, I wouldn't put it. I wouldn't put that past happening. That's not a great way to word it, but you guys know what I mean. But yeah, it's just crazy, really, isn't it? Absolutely crazy. Two managers sacked in one day. To be fair, I woke up this morning. I did not think for one bit that Rodgers would have got sacked. Obviously, I wanted him to get sacked, but I don't think it was going to happen. And there's a report of it. And 10 minutes later, I go back onto Twitter, official statement, and then Potter's just come out like that. So apparently Leicester waited for Potter to go. Now, if that's true, that's an absolute master plan by Kuntop. And that's the thing. The only thing about sacking Rodgers now, I'm just confused why he didn't get sacked during the international break, which would have given us 2 weeks. But if somehow Top knew that Potter, well, I think most people knew that Potter was on the edge, but I didn't expect him to get sacked just tonight. So we'll have to see how that one goes. But I think we could see some movement. I honestly think Brendan could end up at one of the London clubs, probably not Chelsea, but maybe Tottenham, to be fair, because obviously they're still on the search for a new manager. I think they got Ryan Mason to the end of the season, but I think they're still going to be doing some groundwork to get a manager for the summer. So I'll take Rafa Benitez. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. Long term wise, no. Short term, just to keep us up, yes. But I don't think you want to come in just for the short term. So they exactly that. They know what's going on inside the clubs, and it makes sense, to be fair. But on Benitez, I think he did good for Newcastle a few years ago. Went to Everton though, and that's really poor, and that's my only concern, really. And obviously there was that whole thing. Obviously, he used to be a Liverpool manager. He potentially doesn't even like Everton. There's all that type of thing, but it's a professional job. So yeah, I don't know. All I say, I wouldn't be his biggest fan, but I would accept him. Obviously, I'll back him. But next step to get Top out. I don't like saying it, but I do question the ownership a small bit, because he has let Rodgers go on for too long. But if he has waited for Potter to get sacked, and if he can bring Potter in, I'll completely forgive him ish. But yeah, it's a bit strange how we were favourites to get Potter next minute he got sacked. Yeah, something's going on. Well, I'll keep refreshing Twitter because something could really pop off for it. To be fair, but just a case of what Potter wants to do. But we'll have to see what happens. Still nothing going on. But yeah, the whole of Leicester Twitter, as you guys are saying, are pretty much all in for Potter. But yeah, Sky Sports discussing Brendan Rodgers potentially going to Tottenham, which you could see it. But one thing I want to talk about, back onto the Rodgers second himself, the media on Brendan Rodgers are absolutely. I've never seen a manager get so much respect and so much backing after getting sacked after an awful run of form. I've never seen that. The amount of people who are commenting on it, it's clear to see that they don't watch Leicester games at all. The amount of pundits who are saying, "Oh, he shouldn't have got sacked. He didn't get backed." It's just crazy. Now, obviously, yes, he didn't get backed in the summer as much, but the reason why he didn't get backed is because of him. And the amount of pundits going out there saying this, and this, it's like, open your eyes and look at Leicester and watch your games. It's actually, it winds me up. And even neutral fans talking about it when they don't have a Scooby-Doo about what's going on, and they probably watch the highlights of the game. 31 shots conceded to Crystal Palace, in my opinion, is a sackable defence anyway. But yeah, rant over. It just does my head in. I would take Lampard, but got no experience. To be fair, I will admit it. Before Lampard went to Everton, I did kind of want him at Leicester. I can't lie. But after watching him at Everton, where obviously he kept him up, but didn't really set the world alight. But I think he did quite well at Chelsea, considering I think he had the transfer ban, didn't he? So yeah, Potter to Leicester. Here we go tomorrow. Imagine American. I know it's crazy, isn't it? Todd Bowley's on an absolute mad one. Wes Morgan. Big Wes towards the end of the season. Yeah, it's just stupid, isn't it? It's absolutely stupid. This whole thing about Rodgers not getting backed is an absolute myth. It's an absolute myth because if the guy didn't spend money on people talk about Leicester got rid of their best players and didn't replace them. From reports, Brendan Rodgers reportedly kind of pushed Schmeichel away. So there's one, and then it's just Fofana. That's pretty much it. Now, obviously, I wasn't expecting Leicester to really go for like top 6. Maybe not in top 10 this year, but not 19th place with 10 games to go. There's levels, isn't there? So yeah, I just don't get how people can report they can keep on backing Rodgers with this. I think the only reason why is because he did so well at Leicester for the first couple of years, and if he didn't do so well, for one, he probably wouldn't even be here. But he isn't now, but you know what I mean. But it's just I just don't get it. It's because he speaks he's very careful with his words and how he speaks to the media, and never really accepts the blame. If you look at his press conferences, which thank God we don't need to see another flipping Brendan Rodgers press conference, Jesus Christ, but. Yeah, these constant comments just pushing the blame way. Oh, it's a great coaching challenge. It's in our hands. Blah blah blah. But, yeah, I think it's just accumulated to the fans getting really annoyed, just like all of us, and it's just kind of exploded today. And Rodgers has gone, and something else will happen. But yeah, it's one of them. Really, the new era begins at Leicester City, boys and girls. Crazy day. About Jamie Vardy as a manager, no thanks. Well, I don't think so. It's one of them things again, though. If Vardy becomes manager and we get relegated, that's just going to tarnish his legacy a bit more. I don't think Vardy's cut out to be a manager at all, to be fair. Who have the Red Bulls going, really? But yeah, let's have a quick refresh of Twitter just to see if anything's going on. Big Graham Potter to Leicester, imagine. So yeah, all the chat is but all right. I'm gonna get this thing up by Michael Owen. It's annoying me now. Another pro Rodgers pundit doesn't have a Scooby. All right, here we go. Michael Owen on Twitter. Look, another one bites us. Huge call from Leicester to part company with Brendan Rodgers. He'll be a man in demand. I'm really starting to fear for them. A huge call with what is he smoking? We were winless in 7 games. He should have been sacked ages ago. He should have got sacked after Tottenham and Brighton. And now I'm going to start ranting because he clearly doesn't watch the Leicester game. If you sat there and watched a full game of Crystal Palace versus Leicester City yesterday, there is no way on hell you can say sacking Rodgers is a huge call. Absolutely deluded. Sorry, Michael Owen, but it's true. And by the way, you also said that Jamie Vardy is not a natural finisher as well. So there we go. Which is the biggest name for a new coach? Do you mean like the biggest manager we could get? It's probably Potter, realistically, but yeah, I always have this slight bit of hope that Pochettino. I don't know why it's unrealistic, I know, but he was interested. I don't know if I showed the tweet, but it's from Ian Stringer. I did show Pochettino was interested in the Leicester job last year. So if we can stay up, you never know. If we can somehow get some finances together. Maybe, you know what I mean. I said it earlier. Villa got Emery, Phil Neville. Jesus Christ, I think I'd do. I'd rather put me in charge than imagine Phil Neville and Gary Neville both be managers. To be fair, I'd rather keep Adam Sadler and I keep forgetting his name. The goalkeeper coach, Mike Starr. Yeah, them two. Mike Starr, unbeaten record as Leicester manager, 1 win out of 1. So there we go. So ignorant of the facts, he obviously does not even know what happened to Rodgers at Liverpool. Never. Yeah, it's exactly that. And it's half these pundits only focus on the top 6 teams and don't have a Scooby Doo about the rest of the league and just make up these random comments. But it just does my head in about. It's not even pundits though. It's like fans as well who might even watch Leicester a bit more than the pundits when Leicester play on Sky. And it's like, how can you not? You know what I mean? It's like. My dad was Rogerson. Yes, about the result, he agreed with the players and fight and fell out. Yeah, it's true. Obviously, the players have to take some blame, of course. But I think it's just reached that. It's reached that stage where it's just you can't really do much more really, and that was it really. So it's just you see that quite a lot. Then it gets to that point where it's you can't really do too much. And this is my key example here. Let me get this tweet up. There's a bit about you've probably seen it already, some of you. Can I get it up? There we go. Right. There's a bit here about I think we'll see more. I think I'll repeat what Ant said on this stream. You'll see more information about Rodgers and what actually happened in the next couple of days. But Rodgers had made it quite clear that he wanted new signings, but had to rely on players that he did not rate. Kagla Sunshu and Bubakari Samari were 2 players that he did not want in the squad. And, obviously that's came out now, but even in press conferences, he hinted at it. And even to Sunshu, he kind of said it straightforwardly that, the player's not good enough, they're not committed in the challenge or something like that. Now, obviously, just don't say it. It's just not, I don't think you should be saying that in the media. And I think that's one of the deciding factors as well. The way Rodgers conducted himself in press conferences as well, just consistently shifting the blame away from himself and even blaming the club and top saying, "Oh, I didn't have enough money," etc. Like, it's just not a good look, is it? But yeah. Mike Starr, my mate, know him personally, top bloke, lovely stuff. Donald, imagine that's true. If I stop performing for my manager, I get sacked. But that's how it works in footy. Yeah, it is true. In my opinion, we have to appoint Rafa Benitez to save the league, and then we have to make a big change if we want to reach Europa League or Conference League. Now, the only thing I'll say to that, I just don't know if Rafa Benitez would come to Leicester just for these 10 games and stay up and then go. I don't think he would do that. But if he did, I'll take it 100%. But I just think with someone like Benitez, I think he would want to kind of stay and try and build a project at Leicester, which, this, as we all know, this summer is going to be even more important now that Rodgers has gone. There's going to be a new manager in there with fresh ideas, fresh recruitment staff, hopefully. So, I think there's going to be a massive changeover at Leicester. Lost the squad, you need to get rid of. Yeah, we need to get a few half the squad really. You should manage, of course. Easy, mate. Put me in charge for the last 10 games. We'll be absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. 5 at the back. All right. Sunshu comes in. We'll play Ian Action and Vardy up top, and we'll be cooking. I think the squad's too comfortable. Yeah, 100%. I agree. I think some of the squad think they are better than they actually are, and that's obviously a big statement. But I do believe that. I think some of them are quite entitled to some extent and believe in their ability to good. Obviously, it's good to have confidence, but then it comes arrogance, and I think that's honestly the case with some players in the team, really, because it's all good having the ability, but there's nothing without that energy and that fight and that passion to really, run and, again, even yesterday was a Crystal Palace game. It seems ages ago, but I can't recall Leicester pressing them at all. And even against, a few months ago against Tottenham and Villa, we were pressing like hell, winning the ball high up, playing some fluid attacking football. And how can it just zap away that quickly? And that's what I mean. It's not all on Rodgers, but the players themselves have to, what's going on? You're pressing against Villa, who are better than Crystal Palace. You're pressing Tottenham, who are better than Crystal Palace. Why are you not pressing Crystal Palace? Obviously, they've got some good players in there, but there's a reason why before they had won a game in 2023, and obviously Roy Hodgson came in, and the manager round happens. So there we go. Leicester versus Watford from the Championship, Watford, probably about right. Bring back Hamza Chowdhury. Bring him back. But I think I'm replacing Rodgers. It's just a waiting game, really. But just like I said a few times, this Potter news is absolutely massive. So quick to everyone watching the stream right now. Yes or no to Potter in the chat. What are we saying? Let me know. Potter now 2-1. Jesus. To be fair, I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised if we get something done. And with Top coming over to England now, I think it's a project that Potter may be interested in. So we'll have to see how it goes. Obviously, Potter will have his group of staff, which are predominantly, there's a few ex-Brighton players in there as well, isn't there? So we'll have to see how that one goes. But yeah, let me have another cheeky quick look at Twitter. Sorry. So yeah, big up to John Philip Mateta. Crystal Palace, crazy. Crystal Palace have sacked our last two managers. Madness. Yeah, Potter sacked. Crazy, absolutely crazy. I wonder how much Potter got paid for that. Must have been a ton. CFC do have interest. Chelsea have interest in Julian Nagelsmann, Pochettino. Yeah, Pochettino to Chelsea would be crazy. Apparently, Chelsea paid 80 million. Surely not. That's got to be bait. 80 million to sack him. Surely not. Hogdini, yeah. Imagine. Was it 57 million to pay off? Was it 57? That's great. 57 million. I wonder how much we had to pay Rodgers, because obviously it wasn't the full amount, but I think there'll still be some money in there, obviously. So the 57 million for 31 games is absolutely ludicrous money. So, but that's modern day football, really. And whoever goes into that Chelsea job has got some balls on them, haven't they? Jesus Christ, because you're guaranteed to be getting a fire bit on your CV. It's just crazy, isn't it? How can you go for? They shouldn't have sat Tuchel in the first place, really. But well, it's one of them, really. That's how football is nowadays, and it's rare to see. With Rodgers, he was for nearly 4 years. It's like, was it 4 years ish? Yeah, it was, wasn't it? Yeah, about 4 years. You never see that now. It's usually 3 years, and you're gone. It's as simple as that. And hopefully now we can get someone in, start a new project, kind of progress that a bit more consistently, and not fall off an absolute cliff just like we did last season. But even saying that, I think last year, even looking at it, last year wasn't even that bad, was it? Really, like we came, what was it, 8th? Did we become 8th or 9th? I think it was 8th. Was it? I don't know, but I was around there. Got to European semi-final. We all thought it was an absolutely dreadful season. Now this year we've won about 7 games. Jesus, it's crazy, isn't it? Absolutely crazy. But just imagine if Leicester got Champions League. Just imagine how different things would be. Crazy, isn't it? 14 minutes away. I saw a clip from the Tottenham game in lockdown, which is absolutely painful, wasn't it? But yeah, fun times, boys and girls. Fun times. But yeah. If you've got any final questions, feel free to let me know. I'll probably wrap it up in a minute because I've got to go. I've got to go very early tomorrow morning for a holiday. So there we go. gutted that missing the Aston Villa game, which is going to be not fun. But yeah, Ant's just posted the odds on his Twitter. So Graham Potter 1-1, Benitez 5-1. Who's John Dahal Comet? I never heard of him. But Hasenhuttl, Adam Sadler, Big Nigel Pearson. Yeah, Graham Potter currently the Leicester favourite then right now. So we'll have to see how this one progresses. Just like I said, I'm on holiday from Monday to Friday, but I will try and cover as much as I can. So if anything does happen, I'll try and do a quick live or something. So we'll have to see how that one goes. But yeah, the key things then, obviously, a crazy day. Brendan Rodgers sacked, and it looks like Graham Potter could potentially be the man. But Leicester definitely interested in Potter. I think the final piece now is if Potter wants Leicester, and that is obviously the most important part. But yeah, absolutely mental stuff, boys and girls. Got any final questions or anything you want to talk about? Feel free to let me know in the chat. Just before we do depart, make sure to drop a like if you want Potter to join the Leicester. Subscribe as well to the channel. Also, we have got Villa on Tuesday night. I don't think I'll have time to do a preview for that one, but obviously that is going to be a tough game. Villa on good form right now. They obviously beat Chelsea 2-0 yesterday. That would be difficult. Obviously, we only played Villa a few weeks ago, and somehow beat them 4-2, wasn't it? Yeah, it was a Tete game, but you know, if we can get the King Power bounce, then I reckon we can maybe get stuff there with a nice little manager bounce. Reveal Graham Potter at half time. Beautiful stuff. So there we go. We're going on holiday. I'm just going to Cornwall for 5 days. So nothing major. Nothing too major. But yeah. There we go, boys and girls. I've been gone for 2 weeks, but you had 2 streams in one day. So what can I say? But yeah, big thanks to you guys for coming in tonight. Much appreciated as always. Drop a like, subscribe to the channel. Let me know your thoughts in the comments or in the chat if you are watching this on replay. And I will see you boys very soon in the next video. A crazy day, and lots more to happen. Stay safe. See you in a bit, boys. Up the Leicester, and big up to Graham Potter.